And here we are, Monday Night Raw. After an amazing SmackDown in NXT, we're back another week with Raw. Seth Rollins making a promo to start off the night. Lita facing off against Sasha Banks after winning the WWE Women's Championship, or Raw Women's Championship, last week against Charlotte. Samoa Joe makes his Raw debut with the promo. Cesaro faces off against... Cesaro and Sheamus face off against the Club again. Brock Lesnar faces off against Darren Young. Darren Young beating Roman Reigns, saying that he gave up last week. That he gave up at Extreme Rules quickly because he wanted to just get it over with. He wanted to move on to bigger and better. Austin Aries faces off against Seth Rollins, and Samoa Joe makes his debut against the triumphant Kenny Omega, who beat Kevin Owens last week. So, first match. Let's get into the first promo, And Seth Rollins has something to say. Damn, it feels good to be here. This is my favorite city to be in. You guys are always a great crowd. Whether you're cheering or booing, you're always doing something. So let's give yourself a cheer and make some noise. A lot of you are wondering what I'm doing out here tonight, especially after what's going on here lately. Well, get ready, because you're about to find out why I'm here, and some of you might not like it. I've been held back for far too long here in the WWE for one reason or another, and not going to stand for it anymore. This isn't anyone or anything that's going to... There isn't anyone or anything that's going to stop me from accomplishing what I've set out to achieve here. And first step towards accomplishing these goals takes place tonight. As you know, at the next pay-per-view, I'm putting everything on the line. I've come to my final straw. I'm not going to back down. I've got the odds stacked up against me, and there's no chance in hell I'm going to lose. At the next pay-per-view, I will walk out a winner. If you think I'm done after coming out here, think again. I'm just getting warmed up. It's only a matter of time before I go full nuclear. And when that happens, you don't want to be a quarter mile from where I am. Strong words from Seth Rollins, but the crowd wasn't really reacting to it as well as he wanted them to. And Lita versus Sasha Banks is Sasha Banks defeating the current WWE Raw Women's Champion, Lita. Now let's get into what Samoa Joe has to say. And Samoa Joe trots out here. Man, I'm a little out of breath. Y'all have to excuse me. I caught my reflection in the mirror right before I came out, and damn, I look good. The WWE is a cesspool of ignorance and arrogance, and change is long overdue. I'm aware that there are those afraid of change, but I can assure you that it will be for the betterment of yourselves and the WWE Universe. A lot of people ask me why I still do this. I've accomplished a lot in this business, and I don't have to keep pushing myself. So why do I do this? Because of each and every one of you. And why am I going to get what I want? Why will I be headlining every pay-per-view from here on out? Because I am the greatest physical, mental, and social specimen known to man. I know what I have said may be opposed by those who could understand it, and I expect as much. However, it does not change the fact that I will cleanse the WWE of its mediocrity for the betterment of all. Thank you. Samoa Joe with some strong words. And now, Cesaro and Sheamus face off against the Club, and they win, gaining some momentum here. In a Falls Count Anywhere match, Darren Young tries to prove himself in a match against Brock Lesnar, and gets completely destroyed. Let's get into the first match. Let's get into the co-main event of the evening. Austin Aries facing off against Seth Rollins straight after his promo. And here he comes. A double. Austin Aries making his Raw debut. And Seth against Seth freaking Rollins. Coming down to the ring. And here he is, Seth freaking Rollins. Seth Rollins coming out here looking to prove a point why he's one of the best in WWE. See, here we are, both superstars getting ready. Referee rung the bell, and already starting off with a sling blade from Seth Rollins. Just attacking the arm of Austin Aries now. And already going to the top rope. Seth Rollins trying to hit him with the Phoenix Splash. Trying to end the match early, but that does not connect. And Austin Aries throws Seth Rollins into the corner and a double axe handle to the back. And now a fisherman driver from Seth Rollins. Now Austin Aries is making his Raw debut. He was formerly a member of the Cruiserweight division, but decided, you know, that's not enough for me. The Cruiserweight division is on NXT. He's like, that's not enough for me. I want to sort of higher heights than a Cruiserweight championship. So he's coming here to Raw. Now, Seth Rollins with a knee to the skull of Austin Aries. Now, Austin Aries is an amazing wrestler. He's an amazing wrestler. And we just have to, he just has to show that tonight. Facing off against another amazing wrestler in Seth Rollins. And now a kick to the arm. Seth Rollins with a jawbreaker, I mean. And now, after that, Shirwani. A pin, but that is not enough to take out a double. It's not enough to take out Austin Aries. And now to the top rope again, looking to finish this match. Oh, telling him to get up. And now a flying crossbody like a missile, just attacking Austin Aries. Austin Aries hasn't had that much luck in this match so far. He needs to show the people what he can do. As again to the arm of Austin Aries. You would think he was preparing him for something. And now, fisherman, not a fisherman, roll up into a super kick. And now, 1, 2, a kick out from Austin Aries. But that could be close to the end as he grabs and rakes the eyes. Oh, goes for a clothesline, but it's reversed, and then Austin Aries with the flapjack, slamming his face into the ground. And there's a knee breaker from Seth Rollins. And a standing moonsault. Both these wrestlers come into this match as great wreck and goes for that eye rake again, but this time Austin Aries is ready. But Seth Rollins dodges out the way and hits him with a massive clothesline to the back of the head. Austin Aries getting up, gonna get caught, and Seth Rollins uses Austin Aries' own move on him. He's got him locked in, and Austin Aries taps out. Seth Rollins dominates Austin Aries, using his own move on Austin Aries, clapping the ears, and then with that version of the Dragon Sleeper that Austin Aries made himself. Here's the super kick that set that up. And Seth Rollins, that wasn't enough, but he uses Austin Aries' own move on him to win the match. Austin Aries kicks out, and here it is. Seth Rollins with the victory. And he celebrates a dominant victory by Seth Rollins as he prepares for the future. Let's move on to the next match. And approaching the ring is Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe, former NXT champion. He was beaten at NXT TakeOver 1 by Suicide. And he made his main roster, and he's making his main roster debut tonight. After losing to Suicide, he said Suicide was just a stepping stone onto bigger and better things. And he's coming out here tonight to face off against the dominant Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega making his main roster debut last week, defeating the former Universal Champion Kevin Owens one-on-one. And here's Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe made a promo earlier tonight talking about it. And now, Kenny Omega coming down to the ring. Currently 1-0 on the main roster. And he wants to keep that streak going coming into tonight. Samoa Joe, Kenny Omega. Let's get this started. Approaching each other, and Samoa Joe already looking to take advantage of the smaller form of Kenny Omega. Just starting off with the power moves. And now, tossing Kenny Omega around the ring. Now, Suicide and Samoa Joe had a big rivalry coming into NXT TakeOver 1, which was a few weeks ago. He did lose, however. He lost to Suicide in a dramatic fashion. It was a great match. Samoa Joe just unlucky. Suicide was a very skilled opponent, and I think he underestimated him coming into the match. Suicide won the match. You could say he won the match in a... He won the #1 contender spot in a less than final way. You could say both him and Pentagon were about to win, but the ref counted the pin for Suicide, not Pentagon. and that's why Pentagon and Suicide are in a fight now. Pentagon recently going in a match against Suicide, but that's in NXT. This right here is the main roster. Kenny Omega going after the former Universal Champion, Kevin Owens, last week, saying that he came here to shut Kevin Owens up, and that's exactly what he did, defeating Kevin Owens. And now, after a monster move, Samoa Joe just gets ensegreed. And now Kenny Omega starts to get his offense going. Kenny Omega, the cleaner, oh, with the perfect moonsault, just beautiful in the air. And now stomping on the body of Samoa Joe. Kevin Owens, the cleaner, came to WWE to shut people up. He shut up Kevin Owens, and now he's looking to shut up Samoa Joe. Came to the main roster earlier tonight, talking a lot of game. Well, let's see if he can back it up here tonight, as Kenny Omega with the snapmare, and now just elbows to the top of the skull, the crown of the head of Samoa Joe. He thinks that's it. 1, 2, and a kick out. Also, what's not been very it hasn't been showcased as much, the Cruiserweight Championship on NXT. The Cruiserweight Championship, Noam Dar is still out with injury after getting concussion after Cedric Alexander slammed his head into the mat. He crushed his head in between the mat and his foot. And now Samoa Joe with the Samoan Blitz right there. Many punches and bunches, and then just slapping Kenny Omega down to the floor. But Noam Dar is still out with injury after getting a concussion at the hands of Cedric Alexander, who won the #1 contenders match that way. And then went on to lose to Rick Swann really fast. It was a very fast match, but that's how the Cruiserweight division is, fast paced. You get fast paced but high impact matches. Rick Swann beating Cedric Alexander, I think it was 2 minutes. Like Darren Young. Darren Young also, he lost to Brock Lesnar earlier in this match after he beat Roman Reigns, but then lost to him in 2 minutes at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. He got the #1 contender spot he wanted as Kenny Omega with the cross-legged Fisherman Buster. And now, lifting him up, Darren Young beat Roman Reigns, but then lost in the pay-per-view to a claw hold submission by Roman Reigns in like 2 minutes. And that really crushed his momentum right there, but he got one more match to try to prove himself against Brock Lesnar here tonight, and he lost that match. So I think that's going to be the last we see of him for a while, as Kenny Omega sees his opportunity, runs, jumps over the rope, Tope Con Hero. And now Samoa Joe just tripping Kenny Omega, now looking for the count out victory. Because Samoa Joe seemingly unaffected by the Tope Con Hero. Now it's probably because Kenny Omega is a way smaller person than him, and now as Kenny Omega comes into the ring, just slaps him down. And now a suplex. 1, 2, and a kick out from Kenny Omega. Samoa Joe with the Samoan Blitz again. Samoa Joe, for his size, he is a very speedy striker. 1, 2, and a kick out from Kenny Omega. Samoa Joe is surprised. But he hasn't put his finisher on him yet. He's only done these his Samoan blitzes. It's just because he doesn't. I don't think he views Kenny Omega as a real threat. But as Kevin Owens learned, Kenny Omega can perform when the time comes. And now a roll up. 1, 2. He may win. Kenny Omega switches it. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh! Samoa Joe kicks out. The match was almost over right there. And now, a suplex from Samoa Joe. The match almost ended. Samoa Joe rolling up Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega reversing the roll up into a roll up of his own. And the ref's hand was a half a second away from the 3. And now, Kenny Omega taking advantage of Joe, who's been taunting during this match. And now Kenny Omega showing off his strength, squatting with Samoa Joe. That is very strong. That is a very strong person right there. And now Kenny he tried to turn Samoa Joe around, but Samoa Joe reversed, and now got him up. Power bomb. 1, 2, and a kick out, but it goes straight into the Boston Crab. Will Kenny tap out? Will Kenny tap out? And he does. Kenny Omega taps out. And Samoa Joe stops the forward momentum of Kenny Omega with that dominant performance right there. Well, you could say it's a less than dominant performance. Samoa Joe had to put a lot of fight in to beat Kenny Omega, but I think Kenny Omega went for his Kreutz Wrath, or the one-winged angel. Tried to turn Samoa Joe around for it, but Samoa Joe reversed, hit him with the power bomb. So Kenny Omega kicked out of that, but he went straight into, as here's the double roll up, he went straight into the Boston Crab right here, and he got a lot of torque on that because he was grabbing by the thighs instead of the normal Boston Crabs where he grabbed him by the shins. A lot of torque, and Kenny Omega is forced to tap out. Samoa Joe comes away with the victory. That is it for Raw. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, leave a like down below, comment, and subscribe if you are new. And remember to stay frosty. Peace!